All right. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Pearl, and this is the Audacity Network. Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. Okay, guys, so I'm sorry about those technical difficulties last show. They should be okay now. A couple announcements before we start the show. The first is that we have a vlog channel, so please go to Pearl Behind the Scenes, put that in on YouTube, and you can see me. I learned how to do a backflip on that channel. I'm gonna be putting out our marathon vlog. You can watch me kill myself and do 26.2 miles. It was very rough. And I also did, what was the other? Oh, you could see behind the scenes when I went on Timcast, Jubilee, even Pierce Morgan. You can see all the behind the scenes of those things. Okay, so a couple of clips we're gonna go over. The first clip is going to be Laura Trump on the Breakfast Club.
What he
And
did in January 6th.
it really amazed me when I was watching this clip just to see how emotional some adult voters are. It really confuses me when I see people older than me voting more emotionally than me. I would just think, with all the wisdom life has given you, that you would look at the facts over feelings. But what I see over and over again is the left has a tendency to vote on feelings and not facts.
Why are you concerned about Donald Trump with the nuclear code?
Did you see what he did in January 6th?
What did he
He
do?
got a little bit upset.
What did he do on
He
January
got a little bit
6th?
upset and used his words.
What words did he say, though?
The words that you said earlier.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices
And
heard.
then what happened after that?
So how were his words actually contributing to that?
Because I think that for me, him being able to just push a button, hypothetically speaking, it's a little bit scary because we've seen he gets a little bit erratic when he wants to.
Well, nothing happened for 4 years when he was in the White House. And in fact, we had a peaceful world. We had a stable world. We had world leaders who were coming to the table to talk about issues like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, by the way. You know, Obama, when he left the White House, told my father-in-law, he said, the biggest problem you're going to have is North Korea. It is going to be your biggest challenge. It's going to be the hardest thing you're going to have to deal with. And so Donald Trump said, all right, I'm going to try to see what we can do here because we want to have a denuclearized Korean Peninsula. We do not want North Korea with a nuclear weapon. That is detrimental. I mean, talk about nuclear war.
Mhm.
Can you imagine? Talk about a loose cannon, Kim Jong-un, really? And so he started trying to make contact with him, and he was the first president to walk across the DMZ and shake hands with the leader of North Korea to have conversations about getting rid of a possible nuclear weapon with North Korea. That is great for the world. They're world leaders.
Chalk.com. Okay. So the next story I'm going to cover, and I was talking about this earlier before, stream got cut. For whatever reason, my gender has a tendency to vote on abortion. And I do not understand this. I don't think it is that difficult to not get pregnant. I really don't. Ladies, I want to go through all of the options we have as women and why this should not be a big issue for us. Birth control in this country is legal. Even if it was illegal tomorrow, it is so widespread that I would guess it would still be very easy to get. It's not going to happen. Don't get all emotional, crazy, But so we have the option to do abstinence, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen. So let's talk about real options here. Okay, so not only do we have abstinence, but you can take the pill. You can get a shot in your arm. You can get an IUD. All of these have a 99.5% chance of working unless you're irresponsible and don't take your pills at the same time every day. But if that's not good enough for you, you can require the guys you sleep with to wear condoms. This also decreases the chance of STDs. But if that's too hard, all right, I get it. Some things are difficult. You can track your cycle. Really, you're only likely to get pregnant a couple of days a month. and you're less likely to get pregnant on the other days. You can just be extra careful on those days. But if that's too hard and you want to go full on irresponsibility, you can go to Walgreens and get a plan B. And if that doesn't work, abortion's still legal. And Republicans are saying that it will be left up to the states. That's why this shouldn't be a big issue for us. There are more pressing things that I think we should be concerned about. For example, government spending. I don't know. I like having spending money. Ladies, we love our plastic surgery, our makeup, and all that stuff. Fashion. I don't know. I like to pay for guitar lessons. So there's all this stuff. We love spending money. That's what we love doing. So let's get less taxes so we can make more. Okay, but maybe you don't. Maybe you love having the Democrats take your money. Maybe you love it. You think, I love being poor. So what's another issue? Immigration. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think it's fair to have people here illegally and have our tax dollars going towards that. But maybe you guys. So I get really confused as to why this is a pressing issue. So now abortion has overtaken as an issue. You would think it would be an issue for young women, right? I mean, our chance of getting pregnant the older we get. It says that abortion is the number one issue between 30 and 38. Ladies, 90% of our eggs are gone by 30. Geriatric pregnancy starts at 35. And quite frankly, I'm looking at this picture. I can't imagine there's a whole host of men dying to get these women pregnant. I just can't. I mean, we have an average of $37,000 in student debt. It's just not going great. You know what I mean? So at 30, if you haven't learned how to take birth control, it might be time to just go get, I think there's ways that you can go get fixed. You can just like take that stuff out. It might be time. It might be, if by 30 years old, you have been out of the house since 18, you've had 12 years to figure it out. I mean, at this point, that's just getting sad. It's sad. So I'm really disappointed that this is our number one issue. I just think as women, we can do better than this. I really do. I really do. Okay, so next, let me go. Oh, actually, I'm going to skip this one. Okay, so also, guys, my friend, you know what? Friend is a stretch. I won't say friend. You know, all right, King James in the chat said, my mom had her last kid at 43. Yeah, her last kid, King James. We're not having kids. Not her first kid. It's one thing when you start at 18 and you stop at 43, or maybe 25, maybe 30. But let's not sell dreams. That's for the women that started young. I mean, come on. All right. So another thing I wanted to talk about today is how sex work is going to be normalized. Guys, buckle up. I don't say this in a happy way. I don't say this because I want it to be true. But unfortunately, they're going to start cutting benefits. Who is the majority on benefits? Women, right? So what is the number one job? Men are too, but also, right, women. So, you know, men, so what's going to happen? Sex work is becoming more normal, right? That's happening. We see this resurgence of OnlyFans, strippers, all of that stuff. And now you're going to see it because what are we going to do with all of these ex-sex workers? What is society going to do? They have to integrate after they age out. So you're going to see all these post-sex work women going to go into normal jobs. Buckle up, wait for the teachers, corporate America. we will push for this. I'm not happy about it. So now we have Portland's next mayor.
Next to him
is an ex-stripper. Can you imagine, as a man going through your whole life to have a clean reputation, work really, really hard, be the best man you can be, only to be going up against a stripper? That's how I feel when I'm put on Jubilee with an OnlyFans model. I've made way too many good decisions to have to be on this level. Really, anyways.
Next to him, Leave Ostis, an author, writer, musician, and stripper, also known as Viva Las Vegas.
And these vacancies, we need office to housing conversions right away. I don't believe in insisting that workers come back downtown. I think that's environmentally unconscionable. But I do see a yearning from my fellow artists to come back downtown and to really make it hum again with activity. So make some of these zombie buildings, as my campaign calls them, make those available for artist studios. In the interim, until we can get these housing conversions up and running, make music studios. Once artists come and bring their energy back downtown, support the small businesses that follow them. Make sure that when their windows get smashed, that the city is there to pay for that. Make sure that curbside appeal is the city's responsibility, not just the owners. Okay, that's all my time, but thank you for the question.
Ms. Rubio, let's talk about your 150 parking and traffic tickets, your failures to appear in court, 6 driver's license suspensions, largely before you were elected to city council. Then there was an incident last month where you scraped another vehicle while parking and walked away without leaving a note. Our reporting also shows you were ticketed as a sitting city commissioner for an expired vehicle registration, which a year later, according to records, still had not been updated. Given that history, what can you say to reassure voters who may have questions about whether they should trust you with an $8+ billion budget and whether you will be a champion for law and order?
Okay, yeah. So, guys, buckle up. This will become normal. I'm not happy about it. But if I had to guess, in 10 years, all of this crazy stuff, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because we keep putting, like, it started with AOC. Why are we having a bartender as a politician? What is the point of that? Anyways, so, I'm not happy about it, but that's where the world is going. Okay, so our main story today actually was a man. Hold on, I almost forgot to send the link. Give me a second, guys. A man by the name of Josh Sider. He was a contestant on The Bachelorette, and he allegedly dated some high-profile people. We're gonna go through that on the show. And he pretended to be trans for 6 months. So he decided that all of this stuff, I guess, was ridiculous, and he went online and had all of these videos making fun of the trans movement. So I'm about to send him the link to come on. So let me send it to him. And then I'm going to show you guys the videos. Okay, so Timcast had a pretty funny edit on it. So I wanted to show you guys.
My name's Josh Sider, and this is my truth. Everyone online said I'd feel more like a woman if I got lip liner. And I have to admit, they were right.
Hey everyone! Hey everyone! Hey everyone! Hey everyone! Hey everyone!
So yeah, I just have to be honest and share something with everyone out there. I know this is going to come as a shock to a lot of the liberals out there. I just want to say.
Now, the internet was divided on him. So I saw Brett Cooper actually guessed that he was faking it. And I really saw a mix of reactions from conservatives. Like, some conservatives thought it was funny. I saw Mala. She didn't really like it. It kind of sounded like Karen, whatever. But okay, look at the gender pay gap. This one I thought was funny. Oh wait, let me turn this on.
And I keep noticing that my bill is like double what it was when I was a man. Now that I'm a woman, I'm paying like double what I used to. So I'm just confused. We all know the economy's doing fantastic. So I don't understand where this discrepancy is coming from. I got some chocolate ice cream, Ben & Jerry's. It was the extra large tub. And some shampoo and conditioner and mascara. And a couple other things. And my bill's like $150. So I don't know if this is where the gender pay gap comes in or what, but everything's more expensive now that I'm a woman. So drop a comment and let me know what you think. Bye, everyone.
Wait, let me show you guys more. So there's one here.
So a lot of
this
you
was
have
his
been
week 3
asking
of
how
being a girl.
I'm feeling now that I'm in week 3 of hormone therapy. Well, I've definitely been hormonal. So I've been really moody lately and probably not the best company for the people I've been hanging around. But I'm trying to stay positive and do my best. So it hasn't been easy, but I know it's going to be worth it. So I just wanted to check in with you guys, give that little update. Bye, everyone.
Oh my
Hey, everyone.
gosh. This
So
is
a lot.
ridiculous. This is so funny. Anyway, so he goes
You want to
on
know
Alex. I've been on there too. Alex Stein. They'll just that's a funny show. But he goes on Alex Stein and he basically says it's all he's been pretending for months. And it's interesting because I don't know, I've seen people of a mix
Going
of
on.
reactions.
Yes.
Well, I got to be honest. For the last 5 months, I've been conducting a social experiment online to expose how gullible and how delusional the left is.
Give the people the honest truth. What is going on in your opinion, Josh? Are you transgender? Are you, what's going on?
Well, I'd love to, but first, I don't want to insult anybody. This makeup's terrible, so I need somebody to come.
Their bathroom or anything.
Yeah, unlike trans people, I have a moral code and a moral. So there are certain things that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't be around children. If I went to the park to film, it would always be like an isolated area. But if there were kids around, I always had a heavy coat, and I would throw the heavy coat with the hood on so they weren't seeing a grown man in a mini skirt or whatever I was wearing. I never used women's restrooms. I would never invade their space, unlike the woke mob who loves to do that.
Did you go on any dates? Like as a trans person, it just would have been entertaining.
I didn't go on any dates, but I did have a ton of people, a lot of women too, in my DMs telling me they thought I was hot, telling me they wanted to date me. And then I made a hot man, but an even hotter woman, and they were down with it. I was like, this is crazy.
No way. Did you think you got more attention as a trans person than as just a normal guy? Like in terms of like from like people hitting on you or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's partly due to the fact that my page grew by like a factor of 1,000. So my videos went from, getting 10,000 views to 8 million, a couple of them. So, and all of them are in the millions or high hundreds of thousands. And so with that, I'm going to get a lot more eyeballs on me. And because of that, I got a lot of messages, whereas before no one was really messaging me. But I definitely did, at the end of the day, get hit on more as a trans woman, whether that was because of how I looked or the videos were going viral. I don't.
And how did you, what's like your day job? Like, because I was wondering, how did you maintain this persona? Did you do you just do media full time?
Yeah, so I do social media, but I also have investments in the stock market and in ETFs. And so that's, kind of my main way. But I've made money off of the internet. All that's public knowledge. And I've done well for myself online.
Okay.
So.
I was just wondering if you had to like go into work or something. That'd be kind of funny.
No, I don't have a 9 to 5. I work for my.
And how deep did you get into the trans community? Like, did you go to any events with them? Oh, that would have been so funny. If you went to an event or like maybe online communities, like how much did you interact with them?
Yeah, that would have been funny, right? Like, oh, you're a fake faker. That's a fake woman. We're the real fake women. I don't know how that conversation would go. I did not penetrate, no pun intended, any of the trans stuff going on. And I guess maybe if I were more of a method actor, I would have done something like that, but I didn't do any of that.
So, did you get a lot of hate after? Like from like were the trans people cuz they I saw some of the comments they were going all for you. I mean, they
Yeah.
were really gung ho fans. So after when it was revealed, did you get a lot of hate from them?
Yeah, so they loved me before. I'd get messages from them all the time saying how hot I am. And then when I transitioned, they were like, "Oh, this is amazing, hack off your cock. That's awesome." So afterwards, they hate me now. I get messages all the time saying, "I hope you die. What you did was cruel and evil." And I always say, if defending bio women is cruel and evil, I don't know what to tell you. So.
Um the other question I had was this is for Brett Cooper. She wanted to know she didn't ask me to. I just saw it on on her thing. She wanted to know if you actually tried to date a woman from 1,000 pound like sisters. Is that real?
Uh, yeah, there's some stories out there about that. It's just jokes that I made referencing how hot the 1,000 pound sisters
Oh no.
are. And so that was just me trolling.
Oh, okay. And then you had a marriage to a man named Dave. I'm guessing that was a troll too.
Yeah, so what I had to do was months prior to the experiment was about 6 months, just shy of 6 months.
Yeah.
But for about 8 months prior to that, I did a number of things to ingratiate myself into the LGBTQ community and to kind of get inside there. And so there were a number of stories that I had created about, me being bi and me marrying a guy named
Oh.
David. And so this was all with a plan to one day expose it. It just hadn't crystallized that early on about what exactly I was going to do, but I knew I had to start kind of sowing the seeds, and so that's why those stories are out there.
And are you at all nervous about the future and like having this out? I don't know. People kind of use when people fake stuff online, they like use it as a way to attack you later. Does that bother you at all?
It doesn't. People have been attacking me since I first appeared on a reality show on the E Network called Escape Club 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, people were saying, "Oh, your life's over because you did this stupid show, and no one's going to like you again because your character was terrible." And, I'm still here. I'm still popular than ever. I still have one of the most popular Instagram pages on the planet. And
Yeah.
I don't really listen to people when they're like, "Oh, what if this affects you?" I mean, anything can happen, but if standing up for women is going to come back to bite me in the ass, then so be it. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, it's a crazy stat that I didn't know that most of the trans movement is actually or it's not men transitioning to women, it's women transitioning to men.
Huh. I was not aware of that because I know it's the opposite. It's men trying to become or identify as women that are in way bigger numbers going to female prisons
Mhm.
and doing things when it comes to the sex that they're trying to go to. I did not know that there's
Yeah.
actually women transitioning to
I
men.
only knew that because I interviewed someone that was from like an organization that like goes like they try to get them away from kids, and I guess it's generally autistic kids. So they target like autistic women and men too, but like because they sell the trans ideology as a solution to most of their problems. So like, like things that they would just naturally struggle with.
Sure.
But it's interesting because I played volleyball in England, right? And we had a tournament where there was trans people, like trans dudes playing in our locker rooms. Like it was complete, yeah. And the crazy thing was, I think that us as women, we kind of deserve it because I swear I was going around being like, anyone have a problem with this? Nobody. And like I swear the women, like none of them say anything. None of them care. Like, and I was the bad guy because I was like, ladies, no, because they're very left in volleyball. Because I've played volleyball for like 20 years, so it's just very like like just most people that do it are left leaning, and it was crazy. They like finally now I think volleyball teams are starting to boycott, but it took like forever.
Yeah, the San Jose student at that you're talking about, it's the male identifying as a female, you know, they've had 4 teams now that have forfeited. A 5th team just forfeited. Her own roommate, so her roommate is a real woman like the rest of the team. She
Yeah.
has to live with this bio man and play with this bio man. She has joined a lawsuit against this biological male. And that just demonstrates how far we have come as a society and how much we bite our tongue,
Yeah.
that the left's delusions have gotten to the point that a man is living with a girl on her girls' college volleyball team. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's because everyone stays silent, like you said in the locker room. None of the women speak up because everyone's afraid of getting canceled and having their lives destroyed. And the same goes for men who don't speak up too. And this silence, this omerta, is why I decided to do this social experiment, because I was sick and tired of staying quiet. Someone needed to call these people out. And I love that now all they can say to me is, oh, you faked it. And I said, well, I faked being a fake woman. We're all cosplaying. We're all pretending to be pretend women. And we're all the same. And so for them to suggest that somehow I'm fake, does being rational and not being mentally ill make me the fake woman? And because you're mentally ill with gender dysphoria, you're the real fake woman? So you can only be a real trans person if you're mentally ill. And so I just wanted to speak out against it. It's insanity.
You know, it's interesting. They had them in my dorms too when I was in college. Like, this has been going on for so long. It's weird because that was like 10 years ago now. And you probably know the school Elmhurst.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It was one of the first schools that allowed trans people in the dorms. So they were literally across from my floor. So it's crazy.
And that's why I would never send my kids to, I mean, you can't help that in college, but at least leading up to college, I would never send my kids to a public school. I would always homeschool them or send them to a private school because this stuff is, you know, you're having biological boys around women. And you know what? Male patterns of violence don't change because that male identifies as a woman now. That violence still occurs at the same rate among trans women, bio men, and so your people's daughters, mothers, children's, nieces, nephews are all, we all have a stake in this to keep these sexual perverts with autogynephilia out of our spaces that are reserved for women.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I thought this was hilarious. Some people were Karening, and I didn't like. I saw a couple commentators getting mad, and I'm like, this is so funny. So, you know, I think it was good. I think it made a statement. So I appreciate you speaking out.
Thank you. I thought it was hilarious. I think anyone with a sense of humor would find the videos funny. And I think it did prove a point that this whole thing is ludicrous and a charade, and we need to stop it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Josh.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So, isn't that crazy? I think that is insane. Okay, guys, so we are going to close out the live stream today, and we are going to go on to the Audacity Network. I'm going to be reacting with Heidi, and we are going to be going through Love is Blind and picking up where we left off. And yeah, so we're going to do a new live stream. We're going probably in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So catch me on there. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the website. Bye.